President Biden arrived in Florida today to survey the widespread damage left behind in the wake of Hurricane Ian, while the death toll there keeps rising. His visit comes as search and rescue crews continue their efforts to find human survivors in the hardest hit parts of the state. William Brangham has the latest.
In Fort Myers, Florida, 1 week after Hurricane Ian ravaged the area, President Biden toured the devastation left behind. Joined by Republican Governor Ron DeSantis, Biden pledged local, state, and federal governments would continue to work together on Florida's recovery.
And it's going to take a lot of time, not weeks or months. It's going to take years for everything to get squared away in the state of Florida, to fully recover and rebuild. Today, we have one job, and only one job, and that's to make sure the people of Florida get everything that they need to fully, thoroughly recover.
Search teams from all over the state, like Ignacio Carroll's team from Miami, made their way to Fort Myers to help.
We want to get to those that have run out of medication, those who maybe are trapped in their homes because of the debris. We try to either get them out or to check on their well-being. And don't want to wait for daylight. You want to start hitting the ground running as soon as is safely possible.
As of late Tuesday, more than 2,300 rescues had taken place since Ian made landfall. As of this morning, more than 298,000 customers still had no power and may not have their lights back on for several more days.
The heat is unbearable when there's no power. We have kids. We can't make food. We don't have gas.
Pine Island, which is a barrier island off of Florida's southwest coast, was still cut off entirely from the mainland Wednesday morning. Members of Florida's National Guard deployed to the island to clear roads and airlift equipment in. Pine Island is also home to several animal species. Rescue teams moved to save dozens of parrots left behind at a local bird sanctuary.
Today's day 5 or 6 of operations. We have a 4-boat operation going on today to rescue 100 cages of birds off the island before they die.
During his visit, Biden also met with residents and small business owners in the area, many of whom face a daunting choice: rebuild or leave the area. By some estimates, Ian's economic toll could be between $28 and $47 billion, making it the most costly storm to hit Florida since 1992. But today, President Biden reiterated more help is on the way.
Look, we have a long road ahead of us, rebuilding entire communities from the ground up. I want the people of Florida to know, you have my commitment and America's commitment that we're not going to leave. We're going to see you through this entire process.
For more on the recovery efforts, I spoke earlier with Jennifer Heiner. She's with Fairfax County Fire and Rescue in Virginia, but her unit was activated by FEMA to help down in Florida. I began by asking her about the kind of work they're doing around Fort Myers.
So we will go out in small squads, and we are doing basic assessments on the homes. We're helping people if they need medical help. We also have FEMA distribution lists, so we're giving them the addresses, the times, and then what they can receive at those distribution centers. So we're just making contact with the residents. If anybody is reported missing, we do our due diligence and try and go locate that person and go clear any residents just to make sure that they left or are evacuated, that they're not still in that structure. So we're still doing search and rescue operations. There's a lot of destruction, especially in the RV trailer park areas and along the shoreline as well. Trees are down, roadways are blocked, power's out, no water. And it's very sad that the residents, they're resilient, they're bouncing back. Everybody is very friendly, and they're just ready and eager to get their homes and their counties up and running again.
I mean, I've been in a few disaster zones myself, and I know one of the concerns is always, do people have the financial wherewithal, but also the emotional wherewithal to get through this and to deal with all the things they have to deal with? I mean, I know you're not a mental health worker, but what is your sense of how people are doing with this catastrophe?
A lot of people are doing very well. Again, they have high spirits, and they're very thankful of all the help that they are receiving. Some people are not doing as well. They've either lost loved ones or loved ones are still missing that they're trying to find. So they're very anxious to find them, to locate them, to get closure. So we are dealing with both sides. A lot of people, this is their very first hurricane that they've ever lived through. There's a lot of elderly that live in Florida, especially the areas that we're checking. So this is their very first one. Everything is new to them. And a lot of their homes, they weren't ready for this. You know, the hurricane took a turn kind of the last minute, and they weren't expecting it. So they weren't prepared properly. They didn't have enough time to get out. So they just weathered the storm. One of the best stories that I've heard, there was a community that kind of put their heads together. They knew they had a paraplegic gentleman that lived in the neighborhood, and they went during the storm when the storm surge had hit. They went and they were able to put floaties on all of his limbs to keep him up.
Floaties like you put on a little kid when they go swimming?
Yeah, they put them on all of his limbs so that he can maintain. So I thought that was great. That was quick thinking. Again, these civilians, the residents here, are amazing.
And I know you've responded to other disasters in the past. How does this one compare to what you've seen in other places?
Domestically, this is definitely probably the worst one that I've been on. There's a lot of destruction, to homes, to land, a lot of properties out here. So this is by far the worst that I've seen since my time on the team.
All right, Jennifer Heiner of Virginia Task Force One, thank you so much for talking with us, and thanks for what you're doing.
Thank you.